time to give my NBA award predictions for the 2019-2020 NBA season. What is going on, y'all? FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA. So if you're an NBA fan and you're not subbed to the channel, what are you doing? I do talk a lot of NBA on the channel, and you're going to want to stay subscribed and turn on the post notifications so you're notified every time I drop a new video. And folks, we're getting real close to the NBA restart, so you know what that means. More NBA content coming your way. So with that being said, follow me on my social media links down below. As always, for my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. So with that being said, the NBA came out today, and I should say not the NBA, a report came out today saying that the NBA will not count the restart towards the player awards that happen at the end of the season every year. So the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man, etc. You know, all those awards. Yeah, this restart that's happening in Orlando where they're playing 8 more regular season games and then the playoffs, yeah, they're not going to count that towards those awards. So whatever these players do in these 8 games, and it's really the 8 games because it's a regular season award, it's not going to impact. So basically, that means the season for the awards, it's done. And so let's predict who wins every award. And I'm actually doing this for the second time because I gave my prediction before the start of this season, and I will show you how I did in that. I have a tweet literally showing how I did it or what my picks were. And then I'm going to give you guys a second prediction list of who I predict to win the award and who I believe will win the award now that we know this restart won't count towards it. So let's take a look at that and see how I did. So here you have it. Here were my award predictions before the NBA season started. So full disclosure, right? Because I do this every year. I give you my award predictions, so there's full transparency, okay? So my MVP pick was Giannis Antetokounmpo. Defensive Player of the Year, Anthony Davis. I had the Rookie of the Year being Zion Williamson. Obviously, unfortunately, he did not play enough games this season. He missed a lot of time, which obviously I did not see coming. In terms of the Sixth Man Award, I had Spencer Dinwiddie. The Most Improved Player, Bam Adebayo. And Coach of the Year, I had Quinn Snyder. So those were my picks. And I gotta say, I'm pretty happy and pretty impressed with my picks because I believe a lot of these are going to be right. Okay, so let's talk about these picks, and let's talk about how I feel about them now and what I expect to happen, okay? So those were my picks before the season started. Let's talk about what my picks are right now, and then let's talk about what I think happened. So when we take a look at, we'll start with Coach of the Year. This one, to me, I believe now the winner is going to be Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is my pick, I should say, to win this award. I had Quinn Snyder. I don't believe Quinn Snyder wins it. Obviously, the Jazz had a decent season. They're making the playoffs for sure, but they didn't do anything extraordinary. Quinn Snyder didn't do anything extraordinary, I believe, to win this award, and I don't believe he will. Nick Nurse, to me, is my pick because nobody saw this coming from the Raptors, which is lose Kawhi Leonard, and now you go ahead and you remain a top team in the Eastern Conference, folks. I mean, everybody thought the Raptors, including myself, were going to fall off, and they didn't, and that is credit to Nick Nurse. So Nick Nurse, to me, is my pick, and I believe he's going to win Coach of the Year. I'm very, very confident about this one, okay? So, again, not happy the fact that this one was wrong for me in my prediction initially, but now I'm saying Nick Nurse, and I do believe he wins it, okay? Moving on to Most Improved Player. My pick was Bam Adebayo before the season started. It's still Bam Adebayo, and I believe he wins this award. He had a monster season, 16 points, 10 rebounds, about 1.3 blocks a game, made an all-star team, literally was the breakout star for the Miami Heat, and a big reason why the Heat were one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And the only other argument I can make for another player would probably be Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram also made an all-star team. He was phenomenal for the Pelicans this year. I was really impressed with Brandon Ingram. And this could be close, but I'm going to stay with Bam Adebayo mainly because the Heat are a playoff team. They're not like the Pelicans, who obviously are on the bubble. We don't know if they'll make the playoffs or not, but record-wise, the Heat were the better team all year long, and Bam Adebayo was one of the best centers and one of the best big men in the NBA. So I think Bam Adebayo edges Brandon Ingram for this award, and this one I did have right since the beginning of the season. So I will pat myself on the back on that one. Okay, moving on to Sixth Man of the Year. My initial pick was Spencer Dinwiddie. And this I'm actually not that mad about because Spencer Dinwiddie balled out, had a phenomenal year, but he just actually started, I think, too many games to win this award because Kyrie was out a lot of the year. And so was KD, missed the entire season. But Dinwiddie just ended up starting a lot of games, and he had a very good year. And I'm telling you right now, if Spencer Dinwiddie was coming off the bench the entire year and Kyrie Irving was healthy, he actually could have won this award. But he's not going to. And my new pick to win this award is Montrezl Harrell. Yes, Montrezl Harrell, the big man from the Clippers, I believe wins this award. Averaged 18.7 rebounds off the bench, folks. 18 and 7. Those are starting power forward center numbers, okay? And he averaged that off the bench in just about 28 minutes. And Harrell is so important to this Clippers team, folks, because you take away Montrezl Harrell, they have no bigs. You got Ivica Zubac starting, and behind him, who else is there? You got nothing. So Harrell is such a key component to the Clippers. Honestly, folks, like after Kawhi and PG, he might be the most important player on the Clippers. He was that damn important. Just does all the dirty work, great rebounder, great hustle player, like phenomenal season off the bench. Montrezl Harrell, to me, is my pick as far as who I think wins it. He should win it. I think he has a very decent chance. The only other guy I'm going to say is Dennis Schroeder, who could win it. This is a 50-50 toss-up between Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell. Schroeder averaged about 19 points a game off the bench for the OKC Thunder. Was very good for them as well, but I would give it to Harrell. So that's just me, but Schroeder is the only other guy that has a shot. Let's move on to Rookie of the Year. This one, to me, I can't blame myself because I picked Zion. Zion Williamson would win this award if he played more games. He just didn't play enough games. Ja Morant's going to win this one. He's my new pick, and he will absolutely win this without a doubt. He was obviously the most impressive rookie in terms of playing a majority of the season, unlike Zion, who barely played enough games. And Ja led the Grizzlies, or almost, we could say, to the playoffs, because we don't know if they'll for sure make it yet. They're going to play out the rest of these 8 games, but nobody expected that to come from Ja Morant. I certainly didn't. I thought he'd be good and not this good this quick. So props to Ja, but I'm not mad at myself for this pick because this was an injury risk, okay? Defensive Player of the Year. I am going to go, or I should say I went with Anthony Davis. And to me right now, I still would pick Anthony Davis. And here's why. Anthony Davis this year averaged 2.4 blocks a game, 1.5 steals, okay? Was an absolute monster for the Lakers. The Lakers are a top defensive team because of AD. And yeah, just look at those numbers. The numbers are great. Now, who I think wins this award, this is the part that kind of makes me annoyed. Everywhere I've read and everything I've seen is saying that Giannis is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis is great, but he should not win Defensive Player of the Year over Anthony Davis. First of all, let's take a look at the numbers. Giannis averaged, compared to AD, just a block and a steal a game. Okay, that's a huge difference. We're talking about 2.4 blocks all the way to 1 block. And we're talking about 1.5 steal to 1 steal. And Giannis has been capable of averaging like 1.5 steals, 2 blocks. He's done it, close to it before. So those numbers are way below 80s. But the only reason I believe Giannis wins it because I know the Bucks had the best defensive rating as a team, and Giannis I think had the best defensive rating as a player. But 80 was not far. Giannis is 1, 80's 4. So I don't understand, why Giannis is literally getting all the respect, but 80's not. But 80 should win this award. But ultimately, I believe Giannis does win it because that's what I've seen from all of these polls and stuff like that. So again, my pick is Anthony Davis, and I made this pick before the season started. I'm very happy about this one. I believe he deserves it, but I think Giannis wins this award. And finally, MVP, I picked Giannis. And he is still my pick, and he's going to win this award, folks. The only other guy is LeBron James in the conversation, and LeBron's not going to win it because he's got another top 5 player on his team, and rightfully so. And Giannis Antetokounmpo only has Chris Middleton, and he's not a top 10 player. Contrary to what, these polls say that he is, he's just not. Giannis is the best player on that team. He's got better numbers than LeBron, and he has obviously less around him in terms of talent than LeBron James does. LeBron James should finish number 2, but he needed to do something to beat Giannis. Didn't beat him in numbers, has more help around him, so Giannis is going to win this award, and he was my pick, and obviously I'm very happy with that. So there we go. Again, just to recap, my picks now are MVP Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year Anthony Davis, Rookie of the Year Ja Morant, Sixth Man of the Year Montrezl Harrell, Most Improved Bam Adebayo, Coach of the Year, Nick Nurse. And the only ones that I think I disagree with who will win the award is Defensive Player of the Year, probably Giannis. Rookie of the Year, I don't disagree. Ja's going to win it. Sixth Man of the Year, Dennis Schroeder could win it. And maybe Most Improved, Brandon Ingram, but I think Bam still wins it. So there you have it, folks. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree with me or disagree with me, as always. Thanks for watching.